welcome to video number 2 for the Lutz abroad. I've kind of got a bit of a different video planned today. I thought we've been having a bit of a tough time, things have been a bit tough lately. And I wanted to come up with a video to sort of explain some of the challenges about living abroad. Like, I guess whatever we put on social media is usually something positive, like a cool holiday or something we've done. But, you know, there's lots of challenges about living abroad. And some of them that you might not even consider. Excuse the dogs walking around in the background. I'm just sitting on the floor, letting some natural light come in. And they'll just do as they please. That's their toy box behind me. Lamar's asleep on the couch over there, so we'll see if he makes an entrance in the video. But basically, I'm going to give you 5 challenges that you may or may not have considered about people who live abroad or away from their families. This would definitely apply even if you were, you know, the next state over or whatever. So these are things that I think are the top 5 most difficult or most challenging things about living abroad. So number 1 is, it's pretty obvious, but missing home, that homesick feeling. And not just that, but this feeling that you're really missing out on important things in important people's lives. So birthdays, family holidays, weddings, new children being born, anything that's exciting for your friends and family, and you're on the other side of the world and you can't be completely in on the excitement and be surrounded by people that you love when you're helping celebrate. That really does get to you. And I think also just missing the familiarity, I can never say that word, familiarity of home and things that you did. So like even just a routine, just something as simple as, on a Thursday, after work, I would, when I was at home, I would finish work early some days and then pop in to see my nephews, and just that simple thing you miss doing. Everything is a lot harder here, and I'll get to that in one of my other points, but you don't have that familiarity of just everyday things that you do, or routines, or people that you see. So that's definitely a difficult one. And then I put this question out to one of the Facebook groups I'm part of, this one's called Kiwis in London, but it's got lots of Aussies as well, and probably people from all parts of the world. But and someone mentioned this, and I thought this was certainly would be completely difficult, and that's like having friends or family or people that you love either ill or they pass on, even pets. He won't mind me saying this, I'm sure, but Ben had a dog who lived with his mum and dad, Molly. She was an Australian bulldog, and unfortunately earlier this year she had to walk over the Rainbow Bridge, and it's so hard, like, not being there, A, to say your goodbyes, but B, also to comfort and seek comfort from people that you love. So I think number 1, missing home, it all envelopes into that, so that's my number 1. Number 2, tough, not being able to travel as much as you thought you would. And I think people would have said this to me when I said we were moving abroad and we were going to do all this travel, that that wouldn't be the case. And I kept thinking, I'll do what I want and I'll achieve what I want. But in reality, it's been 12 months since Ben and I have been abroad from the UK where we're based. And that was never our plan. We were never thought that we would be in one place for 12 months and have not ventured out, elsewhere. We've been to Wales, we've been to other parts of the UK, definitely, but I honestly thought we'd be like jet setting here, there and everywhere, and that hasn't happened for a variety of reasons. Money, jobs, moving, and then, when you're in a job, you can't just go, here's my leave, I'm taking off. It's tough. I mean, it's basically like being at home and waiting, but we've also, we do have the opportunity to be able to go abroad. So we're basically doing what we would do at home, working and, saving up our annual leave and all of that. And then when we finally get the chance to go abroad, we will. And I mean, that's in a few weeks, so whew, can't wait. But that's tough. You have these grand plans that you're going to go abroad and you're going to see the world and experience all these crazy things. And we have. I need to remember to take stock of what we've achieved so far. But then at the same time, it's not what we had planned. It's not worked out as it had been planned, basically. So yeah, number 2, not being able to travel nearly as much as you thought. Number 3, we've moved to an English-speaking country. Obviously, we're in England, we speak English natively because obviously we're from Australia. And yet sometimes it's almost like being a complete foreigner in a foreign land speaking a foreign language, because things here are hard. It's hard to get a bank account. It's hard to go, get a doctor's appointment. It's hard to get specialist health appointments or help. Everyday tasks are a hell of a lot harder as a foreigner. People abroad certainly don't understand my sarcastic sense of humor, and so I found myself say something sarcastic or something that would be taken lightly in Australia, and people will be like, either not quite offended, but be like, what? I don't know what you mean, and you just kind of feel alien. You're like, I'm speaking the same language as you. Why are we not connecting? So that's been hard. Everyday tasks are hard, and if you think I'm joking, jump on Aussies in London or Kiwis in London and ask them. The main one was a bank account. I mean, it's just, everything is just so much harder. And I've got to be frank, I really don't want to alienate any viewers or followers, but people here, I guess mainly in customer service roles, they're not as friendly as Australia. So, and as a person who does have a character flaw in that, if somebody is short with me or rude with me, I'll take it to heart. I'll think it's a personal thing. So I'm walking around the UK getting offended by every customer service person just because they're really short, sharp, there's no warmth like there is in Australia. And so that has been quite a big adjust, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way, because when I put this question out to people on Kiwis in London, people said that as well. So I don't know, maybe there is this... I'm completely generalizing, but Aussies as a whole, or what the Aussie people I know, are very warm and welcoming, and we'll have a chat just the sake of. If you need a hand, there'll always be someone, whether you know them or not, that would put their hands up and give you a hand. But here, so far in the UK, it doesn't feel like that. It's different. So that's my number 3. My number 4, feeling lonely and like you're on a different planet. Ben and I moved to the UK. We didn't know anyone. We don't have family that are, English or other parts of Europe, anything like that. We came over just Ben, I, and the fur kids. We didn't have a support network built here. We've met some amazing people. There's two couples in particular. They know who they are. They have been our little support network when we've needed help, or they're just awesome friends. Yes, they are Aussies. One of them's English, so don't be like going, oh yeah, of course. No, one of them's English, the rest are Aussies. But yeah, it's hard to build a support network here. So, I'm pushing 30, Ben's pushing 30. It's difficult to make friends, and when you do make friends, particularly if they're from the UK, they've already got their own support network. So, it's difficult for adults to let other kind of adults in. And I know that people will know what I mean. So I'm feeling like you're on a different planet. That's mainly because of the time zone. So, it's the middle of the afternoon here. That means it's middle of the morning in my hometown or in Australia. And, sometimes I miss important messages or just general conversations and stuff because my loved ones in Australia will message, when they're awake and doing things. I'll either read it when I'm half asleep in the middle of the night and then forget about it the next morning. That is mainly the thing. I usually, like, when I'm asleep, the phone will buzz or flash, and I'll have a look and I'll go, oh cool, I'll reply later. And half the time I don't even remember reading it. So I feel like the time zone makes it feel like we're on different planets. And then it's hard to maintain that support network because they're messaging you when you're asleep, you're needing them when they're asleep. And so that has been super difficult as well. Don't get me wrong, I have amazing friends and family in Australia, and there have been, a select few that have done everything they can to be supportive, be here when I need them, despite the time zone issues, etc., etc. And I love them dearly, but sometimes an idea might pop into your head and you might think, oh, I'd love to talk to such and such someone about it, and you think, I've got a clock on my phone, so I'll look at the clock and go, oh, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, I can't message them. Or, it's weird. When you don't have the support network here, and your support network is on the other side of the world in a completely different time zone, it's hard. Okay. Number 5. I guess living your life abroad on a time limit. This was suggested on Kiwis in London, and the sentiment I had already kind of toyed with about writing about, but I couldn't think of what I would call it. And I think this is right. You are on a time limit. So, you do think, I've got to do whatever I can to have no regrets. That we go back home and think, I don't feel, this hurt to, desire to go back because I did everything I needed to do there and I feel good about pushing forward. For those of you who don't know, Australians can only get a 2-year visa into the UK before they turn 30 to be able to work here. So I think you can get up to a 6-month tourist visa if you just want to come and holiday. But if you want to work to support you to travel, it's the 2-year youth mobility visa, which means you need to be under 30. That's quite stringent, I am 28 and I just think that, plus once you've got your visa, once you've done it, you can't do it again, you just get one shot at it. We're 12 months in and it scares the crap out of me that we are 12 months in and nothing has gone to plan. If you follow some of my other social medias, you might have got a sort of inkling. Ben had some health scares, we've had some money issues, we've had some issues with me finding a job that I can connect with and something I want to keep going at. I'm a very deep person, so if I don't find the job that makes me feel good about going, then I find difficulty with just doing it for the sake of money. So that set us back. Like, we've moved from Nottingham, and we're living somewhere else, and yeah, you know, there's just been, it takes a while to get settled, but at the same time, you've only got 2 years, so if it's taken us 12 months to get bloody settled, I hope the next 12 months will be nothing but travel. But yeah, I mean, that's all. They're my 5. I think they're heightened. Difficulties and challenges are heightened when you're abroad because you are doing it on your own. I say on your own, meaning me and Ben, like as a team, but away from everyone we love. So, you know, the challenges and the negatives do get heightened. And I feel the best way to alleviate the challenge, alleviate the hurt or regret or anything is to travel. That's why we came. That's, you know, that's our little spiritual and wandering hearts came over here to travel. And when we get to do that, all of those challenges are alleviated, or at least temporarily while we're traveling. In 3 weeks' time, we will be in Spain, and the next video I bring you, hopefully, would be like, we've been traveling, we feel amazing, and I think I'm just blubbing now. You get what I mean. Comment down below if you can think of anything, or any of my loved ones. Let me know what the challenges are that you guys feel when you've got loved ones living abroad. I know right off the top of my head, my mum and dad would say that they struggle with us living abroad when we're struggling, and they feel like they can't help us or help the situation. That I think would be an obvious one, but yeah, let me know. Hey! Hang on. Sorry guys, had to pause the video. Oh, not again, Leo. Sorry guys, had to pause the video because the postie came and the dogs went ballistic. Hey, come on. That's the end of this video. Let me know if you liked it. Thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know below if you connect to any of it. I'm sorry, the dogs are just like barking at the postie. Hopefully it's something I ordered online. Anyway, talk to you soon, and love you lots. Bye.